You've been lied to your entire life. And the worst part, you believed every single word. That person you trust, they're hiding something. Your best friend, your partner, even your family members. Statistically speaking, you've been deceived by all of them. And here's the kicker. You had no idea. I'm about to shatter everything you thought you knew about honesty. Forget those look to the left myths you've heard. Forget trusting your gut. By the end of this video, you'll have the real tools to catch any liar red-handed, and you'll wish you'd known this years ago.
Point 1. Your lie detector is broken. Here's a truth bomb. Everything you've been taught about catching liars is wrong. Liars avoid eye contact? False. Skilled liars make more eye contact because they've heard the same myth you have. Fidgeting means lying? Wrong again. Nervous people fidget. Liars? They often stay perfectly still because they're concentrating on their story. Your parents, movies, TV shows, they've all fed you the same garbage. And companies, relationship experts, and even law enforcement have been getting it wrong for decades. The system designed to catch liars fails more than it succeeds. But here's where it gets interesting. There are tells that liars can't hide, but they're not what you think.
Point 2. The microexpression secret. Ever heard of microexpressions? Of course you haven't, because if everyone knew about them, lying would be impossible. These are involuntary facial expressions that flash across someone's face for less than half a second. They reveal true emotion before the liar's brain can suppress it. When someone says I'm fine but contempt flashes across their face, they're not fine. When they claim they didn't do it but fear flickers in their eyes, they did it. The problem is you've never been trained to see these. Schools don't teach this. Parents don't know this. But interrogators, poker champions, and master manipulators, they've known for years.
Quick question. Have you ever caught someone in a lie? Drop a comment below with what gave them away. And if you're learning something that's blowing your mind right now, smash that like button so more people can see this. Now, microexpressions are powerful, but there's something even more reliable that liars slip up on every single time.
Point 3. The story test. Here's the secret weapon. Reverse chronology. Ask a liar to tell their story backwards. Truthful people can do this easily because they're recalling actual memories. Liars, they've memorized a script in forward order. Going backwards short-circuits their brain. Watch them stutter, watch them pause, watch them add details that weren't in the original story or leave out key facts. A truth-teller's story stays consistent in any direction. A liar's story crumbles like a house of cards. But here's what makes me angry. Nobody teaches you this. Instead, you're told to trust your instincts or give people the benefit of the doubt. That's exactly what liars are counting on. And there's one more thing, the final nail in the coffin that catches liars every time. Point 4. The emotion timeline mismatch. Pay attention to when emotions appear. If someone says, I'm so devastated my phone was stolen, but the sadness on their face appears after they say the words, that's fake emotion. Real emotion shows up before or as someone speaks, not after. It's like they're remembering to look sad, not actually feeling it. This delayed emotional response is the clearest tell in human psychology. Yet therapists, judges, and everyday people miss it constantly because they're listening to words instead of watching the face. The truth is right there in front of you and you've been trained to ignore.
So let's recap. Your lie detection instincts are broken. Microexpressions reveal truth in milliseconds. The story test exposes fabricated narratives, and emotional timing never lies. You now have power most people will never possess. Use it wisely. Use it to protect yourself. But remember, once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. Your relationships might change. Your trust might shift. But at least you'll be living in reality, not in someone else's carefully constructed fiction. The question is, are you ready for that?